And this is Fizz and Fiction.
That is what this says. And then this is also Bridgerton.
We're on Bridgerton today. And with the first book, The Duke and I.
Yes.
And you're just talking about if we had read the book before seeing the show.
Yeah, and I was saying that I had not heard of Bridgerton before the TV show, but so I read this first book after the TV show, but then I read all the other books before these next seasons come out.
Okay. Have you finished the series?
No, I have 2 more kids.
The little kids.
Yeah, the little.
They are little. They're little in the show. In my mind, they're little.
You know what I do love? So all these have been this is like first published like a while ago. Let me see the publication date. Like these are older. This was first published in 2013.
Oh dang!
Wait, it might even be older than that. Hold on.
That's a while ago.
No, it might even be older. That might have been like the...
Oh, like that publication date? Let me look.
That's when they added, I think, the epilogues. Yeah, that's when they added the epilogues. Hold on. That's even older than that then.
2000.
2000. There it is. Copyright 2000. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. These... I think that's also why some of these have things that aren't hitting quite as nicely for our generation.
Yeah. That's
like, these books are
old.
Yeah. These books are like 20 years old.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, they've all been published for a while now. So what I do love...
Oh, their little family tree.
Is their little family tree.
Yeah.
And it like tells you like who's in what order and like what their book is.
Yeah, that's nice.
So there's 7 books.
Map.
There's 8 books for the 8 kids.
It's a good reference map.
It is. But this is the first book that follows their 4th child, Daphne.
Yes.
You can always tell which order they are in because their children are named alphabetically.
Mm-hmm. If you are new to the Bridgerton world...
Oh, yeah.
It's set in
Regency
London. And it follows a family and their children finding love. Each one of them. All 7 of them.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
And it's unusual because they don't usually make love matches in Regency London.
No.
But their mom, Violet...
wants them to have love matches.
Like she did.
Yeah.
R.I.P. her husband.
R.I.P. Edmund.
And they're like pretty high in society. Like she's a viscountess.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is pretty high. I don't really know the hierarchy of like...
I don't either. I just pretend. I'm just like, oh yeah.
They say a duke's
like,
pretty high.
I'm like, yeah, it sounds important.
A duke is pretty high because they keep talking about like... Oh, she's got a duke interested in her. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and they, like, call him, like, His Grace. And I'm like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
What would you rate this book?
I haven't read it in a minute. It's been a minute. And, like, it's hard to not let the TV show cloud my judgment or my memory.
It's so hard.
It's really difficult. I'm not going to lie.
The whole time I was reading it, all I was doing was comparing it to the TV show. That's all I could do.
But I do think the TV show has been better than all the books I've read. And I do think that this one is one of the weaker books.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 3, 5, maybe. 3. A 3.
I'd probably give it a 3 as well.
Yeah. It's entertaining. It's quick. It's only like 400 pages.
It's a quick 400 pages.
It's not quick. It's like the average.
It's quick compared.
Usually like 1,000-page books.
It's quick compared to like the 1,000-page books.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
There was one book that I read the other day where I saw it was like 200-something pages, and I was like, oh my gosh.
A breakfast snack. Yeah.
It was a funny story.
It's 400.
Is it 400? Then it wasn't a funny story. It was something. I can't remember what I was reading. It was
like 380 something, so.
Yeah. It was like, this book I was reading was 200, and I was like, oh my gosh.
That's
it is.
wild.
It's like breakfast.
Oh, was it The Pirate Queen?
Maybe.
Queen?
Yeah,
Pirate King, sorry. Yeah.
That seems right.
That one was shorter.
So if you haven't read this book.
Or seen the show.
Go away.
Yeah. You could probably say if you've seen the show.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you haven't read it and you want to read it.
Yeah. Or if you have read it and haven't seen the show and want to, because we're going to talk about the show too.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Can't not talk about the show.
Either of those. You got to get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here and come back.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I like the show so much better than the book. But I will say, a lot of it is because the show intertwines
The stories?
All the stories.
Yeah,
Like, this is just Daphne.
Yeah, like, you really don't see any of the other characters.
Yeah.
Like, they're, like, side characters.
You only see them when they're interacting with her or Simon.
Yeah, because it's, like, is it first person?
No.
Oh, you're right, it's not.
It's not. But it's still, you still only see those people when they're interacting with Daphne and Simon.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see, like, in the show, they have, like, their own plot points that are separate.
And they're fun.
Oh, they're fun.
Yeah.
So fun. Like, you see all the siblings doing, like, all their, like, different things.
Yeah.
And you do not get that.
And you also, like, don't have some characters, so, like, the Queen's not there. I think the Queen is such a fun...
Oh, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
humor ad.
Mm-hmm.
That whole Boxy family's not there, which is, like, you can take it or leave it, I guess.
Yeah. Lady Featherington's husband's already dead in the book.
Yeah.
Like, first off, they're like, oh, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
And they have another sister?
A fourth one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm just like, they changed a lot of stuff.
But,
like,
again, this book is 20 years old.
Yeah, which is wild. Oh, and, like, my first note is, it's already so much, like, not like the TV show in, like, big ways. Because Daphne's been on the market for 2 seasons.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
In the book. And they're, like...
They're, like, kind of judging her for it.
They are, but they're also kind of like, she's not that pretty.
Yeah.
I'm like, the whole show is like, she's the diamond.
But there's no queen to call her the diamond.
True, yeah.
So that's not even, like, a plot point.
Yeah, they really, like, downplay her, like, her as a catch.
And I think that, like, it's
Which is
also a
wild.
bigger deal because, like, if she doesn't get a good match, none of her siblings will.
Yeah.
None of her sisters
She's,
will.
like, setting the mark.
bar.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So she's probably, like, if she's been on the market for 2 years, she's probably, like, 19 in the book then? Because they come out in Society at, like, 17.
Yeah, that sounds right. Another, like, really big difference is Anthony knows about their, like, whole little charade.
Deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he knows about it from the get-go.
Yeah, because I don't think that there's any kind of, like, do you remember Finally Forces It? Oh, I do remember Forces It. But there's no, like, gun showdown, right?
No, there is. There's a duel. There is a duel.
Even though he knows about it, because he catches them making out.
Because he still catches them making out.
And it's not just making out in the book. Isn't he, like, full on, like...
Yeah. Yeah.
having relations with her?
Yeah.
In the garden?
Yeah. Like, her dress, like, comes down. And,
like her boobs are out.
Yeah. And she, in the book... and I think she has a line in the TV show where it kind of, like, alludes to this. But in the book, she's basically like, I knew what I was doing going into that garden.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, Daphne. I'm like, oh, God.
There's also no Prince storyline, I don't think.
That's the thing. Is like, that's why I think the TV show... They did a lot better on, like, creating, like...
The tension
and, like, the conflict.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's just, like, they...
like, he helps her out.
And he's still like, I'm not getting married. But she is falling in love with him.
Yeah.
And she's like, but, like, is that still how you feel? And it is. And then it's kind of like, but there's still, like, all this tension and they make out. And it's weird. I don't know. It's just, like, there's not a lot of... build up? I don't know.
Yeah. There's, like, less reason for them not to be together, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a lot less, surly in the book. Like, in the TV show, you know, he's just, like...
brooding.
Yeah.
Because I don't think his speech impediment's in the book, is it?
And his speech impediment is in the book, but he, like... It's, like, more prevalent in the book. Like, they get to a fight, and he starts to stammer, and I'm like, what is this?
Oh.
Yeah. And then they're, like, at their wedding, they're, like, laughing. And I'm like, there was no laughter at that wedding in the show.
No, it was tense.
It was tense.
Very tense.
There's so much more tension in the TV show than there is the book. Oh.
I burned for you.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't say that to her.
No.
He just thinks it at one point in the book, but he doesn't ever say it. And in the book, there's only one room at the end that they get to, like, after they're married, and that is not in the TV show. I'm like, oh, y'all missed out on that.
Yeah.
We love the one room trope.
I remember also, like, a big difference, too, is the Nigel Burbank.
Yes!
He was way creepier in the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, straight up rapey.
And, Anthony was a lot different in this book. He wasn't like, I mean, he didn't make a deal with Nigel Berberick. He wasn't like, I'm gonna, you know, I'm handling this. I'm the man of the house. And like he is in the TV show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's not like that in the book.
No.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. What else do you have?
And then, oh, she doesn't go to her handmaiden lady to find out how a baby's made. Like she does in the TV show.
Yeah. Does her mom tell her?
No, well, like, she kind of... The housekeeper lady says something about,
at the new house, the Hastings house.
Says something about, like, strong seed.
Yeah.
And then she... and then her and Simon, they'll, like, do it, and, like, he, you know, pulls out, and then I think that's where she, like, kind of puts 2 and 2 together.
And she kind of figures it out on her own.
Yeah, and then she does do the scene where... But she still doesn't know yet. Mm-hmm. And then there's the scene where, like, he's kind of drunk. And...
She, like, tries to baby trap him?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And that's when she finds out.
Because he freaks out.
Yeah, because he freaks out.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, it was a whole lot different than the TV show.
And I think that, again, it's, like...
And she thinks she's pregnant in the book.
Yeah.
Because he leaves. He, like, is so... He like, leaves.
She thinks she's pregnant in the TV show, too, because she miscarries. Or she gets her period or something.
She gets her period.
Yeah.
But, like, in the book...
Oh, he's so mad that he leaves, yeah.
He leaves. They're, like, she goes to London. Because she's like, if I am pregnant, I want to be near my family. And they're, like, apart for 2 months.
Yeah.
And she writes him, and she's like, my efforts were fruitful, because she thinks she's pregnant. Mm-hmm. And by the time he, like, gets it back to her, she's like, I was just late.
Yeah.
But she thinks, like, I think she, like, thinks for, like, a whole month that she's pregnant.
And he's kind of pissed about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. It was just... I don't know.
Again, I think that, like, a lot of these things, like, because they were written, like, 20 years ago.
Yeah. He also didn't visit his father when he died. Like, he wasn't with his father, like...
Oh, like the F you to him.
Yeah. Like, he, like, made that vow, but, like, he didn't make it to his father's face.
More gratifying than he did.
Yeah. Yeah, like, they don't go back to London together.
They don't have that final... Like, how do they make up in the book? They don't have that final ball, do they?
No. They make up, like, very, like, quietly, kind of.
Like, he comes to see her, and she's like...
Yeah. You would be a great father. Don't live your life for your dad. And then it's like, they're fine.
In true romance book fashion.
Yeah. It was just kind of like, okay.
I'm good now.
Yeah. Also, like, there's nothing really, like... There's, like, some sexual tension, like, in the... Like, first part of the book, but nothing really happens until, like, chapter 14.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is slow burn.
Well, to be fair, like, she wasn't supposed to have sex with anyone until she's married.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like you get not that as much in the guys' books, because the guys can go, like, F around with whoever they want.
Yeah. There's nothing is off limits.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it ends.
Yeah, and then these books are interesting too because they have like these really long, like double. You have to be careful reading them because they will spoil you.
Yeah, so
epilogues.
I haven't read them yet because I was afraid of that.
No, it will. Yeah, don't do it.
Because
the second epilogue.
Because some of them are like 15 years in the future kind of thing, and I'm like, what is this? I don't want to see who your siblings are with.
Yeah, you'll have to go back because you do get siblings.
Yeah.
It's like you're hanging out with your siblings and their families.
Yeah, so I saw that, and then I was like, it was so long, I was like, I feel like I'm going to read something I shouldn't read.
Yeah.
But I'm appreciative of the long epilogue.
Yeah. Well,
I'm like...
Because I think that also she's written like 8 of these books, and it's like, you probably don't get... Like how you didn't see anyone else in her book, you probably don't see her as much in, like, the other books, too.
Yeah, it's like, I want to see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I appreciate, because after every book I read, I want 15 years in the future what happened.
Tell me where they are now.
Tell me where they are now. I want to know where the writer thinks they are now.
Yes. And then I can infer my own other pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, I think that, like, for, like, Shonda Rhimes is, like, a genius. For her to, like, read this book
and be like,
and turn it into what it is,
and like see the world,
like create new characters, create the cast that she's given it, the like, pop songs in instrumental, like she has built something so amazing from
Absolutely.
this source material.
Absolutely.
And reading it, like, makes you appreciate that so much more.
Because you see the difference.
You see the difference, like, how much she had to, like, change.
Yeah, because a lot does change.
Yeah, and also to be able to, like, weave the other stories within the story, too.
Mm-hmm. That's what I love about the TV show.
Yeah.
And that's what was kind of hard reading the book, because you don't get a lot of Eloise and Penelope and, like, whoever else.
Yeah.
No.
So I think that it's, like, worth reading, because it is, like, a quicker book, and, like...
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's anything groundbreaking.
No. Do you prefer to read a book before you see the adaptation or reverse?
It's so interesting because, like, I can fully view them as separate entities. Like, I remember, like, when Harry Potter was coming out, everyone was like, it's so much worse than the book. Like, the book is so much better than the movie. And, like...
Oh, every time I used to go to Harry Potter premieres.
Yeah.
Like, I was, like, first in line. But I never read the books. I just loved the movies.
Yeah.
And my oldest sister,
she'd
read all the books. And every time we left the premiere, she'd be like, they left so much out.
And, like, I get that because you have
You only have so much time.
But I really, like, I can see them as separate entities and appreciate them for different reasons.
That's fair.
So, like, I really try my hardest, like, when reading any books that become movies or vice versa, to, like, give them their own due. And, like, I do prefer to read the book first, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's, like, how it was intended to be experienced.
Yeah.
But that doesn't always happen. Like, I didn't read Harry Potter until the 5th movie was already out.
Mm.
So, like, the first half of them I'd already seen it. And, like... like, Hunger Games are at Hunger Games. So those are easy. Same with Divergent. I'm trying to think of another one that I would have seen the movie first. Well, I saw the movie first.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, like, I probably skipped more around. Like, I read faster.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I cared less, but kind of already knew it was happening.
That's fair.
And I was like, I don't really need to see this. What about you? Like,
I like to read book before, if I can. Just because I react better if I'm, like, watching a movie and I'm like, okay, they changed this, okay, like, they did it for this reason, you don't have time to get into this. Like, I understand why they changed it.
It, like, makes you accept it more as you're going.
Yeah, but if I go from movie to book, that's why when I was reading this, I was like, what?
Yeah, like, you're almost mad.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, but it was weird because I like the TV show so much better.
And that's, like, not usually common.
Yeah. But, like, for ones where the book is better, I'm just like, why don't do this?
Yeah.
It's like, but I'm more accepting if I'm reading, if I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh, also, question for the audience.
Yes.
So, this book, I read the first couple of chapters, but then I realized it was on Spotify Premium audiobooks.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
So, I was listening to it while I was doing, like, chores and whatnot. And a big debate in our friend group right now.
Oh, yeah, so true.
Is, if you've listened to an audiobook, do you count that as you read the book?
Like, if I said I read 5 books this month, but one of them was on audiobook.
Would you be like, you didn't read 5 books, you read 4 and listened to 1? It's just like, would you get that down to the detail? Yeah. They're defensive about it.
We are of the firm belief that an audiobook is reading.
Yes. If you want to get
understand,
technical, you did not read it.
Yeah, I get
but if
that.
I'm in everyday conversation and I'm like, oh yeah, like, oh, have you read The Duke and I? Yeah, I read it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, oh, I listened to it.
Yeah.
It's just like a weird, like, if you go on Goodreads, would you mark that as read?
Yeah, you would. Not listened.
Would. I feel like that is just like what it boils down to. Like, would you go on Goodreads and mark it as read?
Yeah, or it's like, if I was reading you a bedtime story, oh, that sounds weird. But, like, as a kid, like, you've heard the story.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Or if, like, you had a,
What if you were blind? All you could do was listen to audiobooks.
Right? Or dyslexic, and...
Or dyslexic.
Yeah, exactly.
You deserve to, like, get to your stories.
Yeah, like, if you had a book goal, like, our book goals for the year, I'm not gonna not count that.
No.
As I read the book.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah. I will die on that
I will die on this hill, too. And you know what's so funny to me is, like, we're so adamantly defending it, and we don't really listen to audiobooks. Like, you...
I I don't prefer them.
I don't prefer them. I prefer reading. I read faster than I listen.
Exactly. I only did it because I was like, I have this much amount of time, and I was like cleaning and like taking the dog out and that kind of stuff. Where it's
multitasking.
Exactly. Like I only do it in that kind of scenario where I'm like, I don't have time right now.
Yeah. So,
but I would much prefer to like sit down and like read.
Exactly. So we should be allowed to be the ones to determine this because we don't even care about audiobooks.
Exactly. I'm not.
And I'm still saying it counts.
Yeah. I don't have a subscription to Audible.
Yeah. No.
Oh man. But yeah, I'll die on that hill.
I will too. Justice for
audiobooks that we don't even prefer.
We don't even listen to.
Oh man. Okay, who are we cheersing to in this book?
Okay. Not Daphne.
No.
Not Simon.
No. I'll cheers to. Oh wait, no, it's the next book where Colin's a little bit. But he's in it more. I'll cheers to.
You said Violet was more annoying too.
Violet is annoying this book.
Lady Danbury is involved in this book.
She is, but she's not in it a lot. I'm like, I don't want to cheers to anybody in this book.
Well, cheers to Shonda.
Oh, there we go.
To Shonda. Thank you for adapting this.
Yes, thank you. And Julia Quinn for writing it.
Shout out to you too. Alright. Catch us for the next one.
Bye.